The timing could not be better for Chicago. Key Bears starters are finally coming back, while Cleveland is falling apart at the worst possible moment. Sunday at Soldier Field suddenly looks like a massive opportunity. For the first time in what feels like forever, the Chicago Bears are entering a game with real injury optimism. Not perfect health, not even close, but enough positive movement to completely change the outlook for Sunday's matchup against Cleveland. And that alone is reason to feel confident. The Bears won't have everyone. A couple of important pieces remain sidelined. But compared to where this team has been recently, the news heading into this game feels like a breath of fresh air. If you want more Bears coverage like this, take 1 second to like the video, subscribe, and share it with another Bears fan. Let's start with the players who will not be available. The slot corner remains out and will continue focusing on recovery, which is the right call long term. The depth running back also won't go, despite some limited work late in the week. Expect a roster adjustment to address depth at that position. Now, here's where the tone changes, because the list of players returning is far more impactful. The Bears are getting a major boost in the secondary. One of their most important defensive backs is officially cleared and ready to go, and his return cannot be overstated. His absence was felt immediately last week, and his presence changes how this entire defense functions. Early in the season, he struggled. There's no sugarcoating that. He gave up big plays, opposing quarterbacks targeted him relentlessly, and the numbers reflected it. But something flipped. He responded the way good players do, by improving. Before his injury, he had become one of the more reliable defenders on the roster. Physical. Confident. Aggressive at the catch point. His stat line tells the story: strong tackle numbers, an interception, multiple pass breakups, forced fumbles, and a constant presence around the ball. What matters most is this: when he's on the field, the Bears are more aggressive. Corners can play tighter. Safeties can be more flexible. Linebackers aren't forced to cover for breakdowns behind them. His return also helps the top corner on the roster, who is also cleared and ready to go after shaking off rust. When those two are playing together, the secondary looks like it actually belongs in the NFL. There's also positive movement at outside linebacker, where another contributor has been cleared to return. That depth matters more than most fans realize, especially against mobile quarterbacks. On offense, the biggest storyline is at wide receiver. The Bears' top target is officially listed as questionable, but all signs point toward him playing. He practiced in a limited fashion throughout the week and looked sharp doing it. The team is expected to manage his snaps carefully, but even a limited version of him changes everything. This is still the Bears' most productive receiver. He leads the team in catches, targets, yards, and touchdowns. Even though defenses have focused on taking him away lately, his presence alone opens the field for everyone else. In cold weather, you don't need him running every route. You need him drawing coverage, winning key moments, and keeping the defense honest. That's exactly what he brings. There's also something else quietly looming: a potential linebacker return next week. One of the team's most important defensive leaders could have his return window open ahead of the divisional matchup. If that happens, this defense looks very different moving forward. Momentum matters. Health matters. And for once, the Bears are moving in the right direction. Now let's talk about the other side, because Cleveland's situation is the complete opposite. Calling their injury report bad doesn't do it justice. It's brutal. It's damaging. And it directly plays into the Bears' strengths. Start with the offensive line. 4 of Cleveland's 5 Week 1 starting offensive linemen will not be available on Sunday. 4. That's not bad luck, that's catastrophic. This isn't a group missing backups. These are starters. Veterans. Key pieces. Gone. One interior lineman is dealing with multiple injuries and is not close to full strength. Another tackle was placed on injured reserve earlier this week and is done for the season. A former All-Pro tackle is also out. And yet another lineman will not suit up. That leaves a patchwork line heading into a cold, physical road game against a defense that thrives when it smells weakness up front. That's not all. Cleveland is also without a key tight end who has been a reliable target in the passing game. He's accounted for solid production this season and has been especially effective over the middle, exactly where the Bears have been vulnerable at times. Without him, the quarterback loses a safety valve. Without the offensive line, he loses time. That's a dangerous combination. At wide receiver, Cleveland is thin. One receiver is questionable. Another contributor is out. The depth simply isn't there to scare anyone. And then there's the secondary. A veteran corner, one of their best defenders, has been ruled out. This is a player with Pro Bowl experience, strong instincts, and the ability to impact both coverage and blitz packages. Without him, Cleveland's defense loses flexibility. It loses leadership. And it becomes much easier to attack. Add in another defensive lineman who won't play, and suddenly Cleveland is missing talent at every level. This isn't just one position group struggling. This is systemic. And that matters because the Bears are built to take advantage of exactly this type of opponent. When you strip everything down, this game comes down to one thing: control. Chicago can control the line of scrimmage. With Cleveland's offensive line decimated, the Bears should attack relentlessly. Interior pressure should be constant. Edge rushers should be aggressive. Stunts, blitzes, and overloads should be on full display. There is no reason to play conservative. This is a game where defensive linemen should feast. Push the pocket. Collapse the middle. Force quick decisions. Make the quarterback uncomfortable from the first snap. The Bears don't need exotic coverages if the pressure gets home. That's where getting the secondary pieces back becomes so important. With confidence on the outside, the defense can be aggressive up front. Safeties can rotate. Linebackers can spy when needed. Against a mobile quarterback, discipline matters, but so does pressure. The Bears now have the personnel to balance both. On offense, this is a chance to be efficient, not flashy. The returning receiver doesn't need to put up massive numbers. He needs to draw attention. He needs to convert key third downs. He needs to be available in the red zone. With Cleveland missing top defenders in the secondary, the Bears can spread the field just enough to keep the defense honest. Short passes. Play action. Let the run game wear down a thin front. Cold weather favors the more physical team. Right now, that's Chicago. The emotional side matters too. This team knows what's coming next on the schedule. Getting healthy now matters. Building confidence now matters. Putting together a complete performance now matters. This game isn't about style points. It's about sending a message, to the locker room and to the rest of the league. The Bears are getting healthier. Cleveland is falling apart. And Soldier Field in December is not a place you want to show up undermanned. All signs point in one direction. Opportunity is knocking. And this time, Chicago looks ready to answer.